Hello, I'm Panos Kotzathanasis, and today we are going to talk about Company, a 2002 Indian Hindi language gangster film directed by Ram Gopal Varma and written by Jaideep Sani. The second film in the gangster trilogy, preceded by Satya and followed by D, was released on April 12, 2002 and was also commercially successful. Varma conceived the idea of the film after meeting a man named Hanif, who had been in prison for 5 years after the 1993 Bombay bombings and was a close aide of the underworld don Dawood Ibrahim in his D company. Hanif told Varma about the fallout between Ibrahim and Chota Razan. At this point, it would definitely be not worthy talking about Dawood Ibrahim, an Indian mob boss, drug lord and terrorist from Dongri, Mumbai, who is wanted by the Indian government. He reportedly heads the Indian organized crime syndicate Din Company, which he founded in Mumbai in the 1970s. Ibrahim is wanted on charges including murder, extortion, targeted killing, drug trafficking and terrorism. He was designated a global terrorist by India and the United States in 2003 with a reward of $25 million on his head for his suspected role in the 1993 Bombay bombings. In 2011, he was named number 3 on the world's 10 most wanted fugitives by the US Federal Bureau of Investigation and Forbes. Recently, the Pakistani government listed Dawood and 87 others in its sanction list in order to avoid FATF sanctions. He has been reported to live in Karachi, though the government of Pakistan denies it. Apart from drawing from the aforementioned testimonies, Varma also had much information on organized crime from before, especially about police procedures, which he could not use in Satya since it was too much for one film. As such, he decided to include them in Company, a large part of which focuses on the police tactics regarding organized crime. Also of note is the fact that the film was made in several locations of Mumbai, but also Mombasa, Nairobi, Hong Kong and Switzerland. And to deal with the actual script of the movie, Company begins by introducing us to Chandu, a poor young man who joins forces with Malik, an underboss of a Mumbai gang. Chandu is a true mad dog, relentless in his violent tendencies, and thus Malik ignores his disrespectful ways despite the protests of his subordinates, since he finds the young man extremely useful. Soon, Malik kills every other underboss with the help of Chandu, eventually taking control of the local mafia. The young man also finds fame and riches in his collaborations with him, and the two soon become the best of friends, as Chandu also buys his mother an apartment and eventually gets betrothed to his next-door neighbor, Kanu, who eventually becomes good friends with Malik's woman, Saroja. Eventually, and after the efforts of Chief of Police Srinivasan, the leadership of the group is forced to flee India to Hong Kong, without though disrupting their enterprises the least, as they continue doing their jobs over the phone. Eventually though, and also due to a dire mistake, the two have a fallout and a full-scale war ensues. It is easy to say that Varma has come up with a crime epic of Shakespearean proportions, with the aforementioned mistake and the rise and fall of the protagonists highlighting the fact in the best fashion. In that regard, it is also easy to say that the movie is split into 3 parts, with the rise of the two protagonists and their gang in Mumbai being the first, their living of India and the time they spent abroad the second, and the fallout the third. What all 3 parts definitely have in common though is the frantic action and the intense violence which fill the screen in the most entertaining way, adding to the already exceptional story. Another point of excellence here is the presentation of the 3 main protagonists and their interactions. The way Chandu begins as Malik's lackey but soon becomes one of his most trusted comrades is rather intriguing to watch, but Varma also includes another aspect in their relationship, the fact that no matter what happens, Malik remains the boss and Chandu one of the people beneath him, which essentially hints at a clash bound to happen. In that fashion, the presentation of the structure of the mafia is as realistic as it is impressive to watch. Ajay Devgan as Malik and Vivek Oberoi as Chandu exhibit a wonderful chemistry, while also highlighting their individual traits in the best fashion. Police Chief Srinivasan provides a rather appealing third wheel, particularly because he is not willing to succumb to criminal practices in order to achieve his goal, as so frequently happening in mafia movies. Mohanlal, a Malayalam actor who did his debut in a Hindi movie here, is also impressive to watch, especially through his rather different overall demeanor. His ways, however, do not mean that the police are presented as a holy service. On the contrary, their violence tendencies and their corruption is quite evident throughout the film, while in another rather pointed comment, Varma also openly comments on the connection between Bollywood and the mafia. Also of note are the female characters here, which, in contrast to the majority of crime films, have a significant role in the progression of the story, with one of them actually being its catalyst. The way his mother and his girlfriend affect Chandu, essentially being the sole loving and calm part of his life, and the rather layered relationship Malik retains with Saroja are also points of focus in the narrative, also providing a welcome relief from all the testosterone and violence. Lastly, this article would not be complete without mentioning the production values, with the visual flair that characterizes the film, including crazy angles, splashes of color, block lines of sight, and the rather dynamic editing, which is actually one of the main narrative techniques here, resulting in a true audiovisual extravaganza. Company remains a cinematic masterpiece that delves into the gritty world of organized crime in the most realistic and entertaining fashion. Director Ram Gopal Varma skillfully weaves a tale of power, betrayal and friendship and presents it in the most impressive cinematic ways in a film that has truly stood the test of time.